Okay, so about my updated Atlantis map, can you see that map?
Yes, yes, we can.
How does it look? Does it look any more accurate than my last map? Do you have any adjustments?
More, yes, but there are a lot of land corrections. It's not like one straight line from one island to the other. There are more bigger islands and some between west and east. There are also land bridges, etc. It's more like a scattered group of islands and half islands stretching all the way up there. Yes, but go to the north. Yes, direction of Greenland. And not so much the idea one island being connected simply by one single bridge to the other, etc., etc., etc. However, keep in mind, we're also referring to here Atlantis as existed over longer due to a stretch of time, so it depends due to various cataclysms, upheavals, when exactly you take a screenshot, so to speak, yes? Like if you're looking from a satellite on it and taking a screenshot, and which period would take some islands might be further down, up or below the water, yes?
Right, right.
Or some land bridges being there and some other timing, as you're calling that, to being covered in water. And that's only referring to the most prominent timeline you're on currently, not even mentioning the various other timelines where Atlantis might have been something entirely different altogether.
Right.
Like a parallel universe, for example, if you're calling this, yes?
Right. So do any of the islands need to be removed?
Not really remove. Some of them could be bigger, yes. And again, the land bridges in some regards could be larger, connecting islands, turned into half islands, etc. Again, depends what time frame you're looking at.
Right, right.
Some of them could be underwater, yes. There are instances that could be bigger. Depends, yes.
So like Island W, was that did that really exist around the time Atlantis sank?
Around the time, yes, before it sank,
Right, right.
yes.
Okay, and now like Island A, does that look accurate? The size was it really that big?
Further stretched, likely, yes, more flattened. But otherwise, yes.
What do you mean flattened? Like the edges were more straight?
Stretched, stretched out from east to west.
Okay. Um. All right. So like about the main island, then does that look okay? Do any of
Yes,
all right? So the borders don't need to be pushed out or pulled in any.
they're somewhat accurate. Again, depends when the sea level one was and which degree, right?
Right. Right. How many land bridges connected to Greenland?
Again, depends on the time frame. The most we would say five, and at least two.
So like around about the time Atlantis sank, like shortly before, how many?
Two.
Okay. All right, cool. I'll update the map and yeah, send you an updated copy. Cool. Thanks. um, now can you
We're
give?
getting there. Yes.
Yeah, we're getting there. Can you give a brief summary of the nuclear war in Atlantis, such as which sides were fighting each other and why?
Some of the beings that landed there, yes, that were giving out, you might consider from their own perspective, yes, something like education, help, development aid, the best term, right? To their underlings, so to speak, half-breeds, their offspring that were mixed with the natives, particularly of the northwestern African continent, right? So the idea was there was some genetic upgrades from their perspective. However, many of them, their so-called half-breeds, likely were still also later in the Western European area, like the Iberian Peninsula up into stretching into France, for example, and northwestern Africa, yes. Those ideas, also of course partially of the Atlantic continent itself, wanted some more power. Right? That's where also the story that Plato narrates, yes, that we got from Solon through the Egyptian records between those ancestors of what now would be then later became during Plato's time, Greece, right? Which was of course much bigger at the time. Their ancestors were in conflict then with those that were then recorded as being invaders, which were actually the Celestials giving them their own teachings but refusing to give them some more of the higher advanced weaponry, for example, which once they got their ranks on after, there was some conflict about who should govern whom. The classical idea similar to the Tea Party, as you're calling such, yes, which much greater ramifications. Not quite a good comparison, but the best person you find emotionally readable.
Right. So, can you say, like, roughly how many cities were nuked in Atlantis?
The main one, particularly, Atlanta, yes.
Oh, wow.
Then, of course, there was a larger radiation poisoning. Then also there was something like earthquakes erupting and a meteor ultimately was also going to strike down. You might consider this hard, perhaps, but something more advanced. Much was involved there. But the main city was definitely hit, and there was also a backlash against those that were still on the island. The offshoots, yes, including the European colony. And of course, then there were different groups among the visitors, yes. Those that were in favor of genetic interference and those that were not, that were opposed to each other, with only a few what you consider native Atlanteans, perhaps, or rather visitors or invaders, depending on your judgment. There are many, particularly on the European continent, while the Atlantis one sank entirely in the conflict. So the majority of those that were left over and were hybrids.
Right. Roughly how much time passed between when Atlanta was nuked and the rest of the island sank? Like hours,
From a
years?
bit aware, not very long. Days?
Okay. Okay. Who was in charge of Atlantis when it sank? Like, was there a king or an emperor or something?
Representatives, yes. A squad from a starship that had made their place there. You could call him from the mythology you were referring to previously, the Greek one, yes, the Neptune person. Or Enki.
Right.
Depends on the records you're reading.
So what happened to him? Did he survive or did he go down with the ship, so to speak?
From Midware, he was prosecuted. But he didn't die in the instance, but he was fastened, brought down, jailed, as you might call such. There's also a story from your Germanic mythology where you're mixing your Middle Eastern with Greek with Germanic mythology all over, yes, but they're all referring more or less to the same story as Loki, for example, being the same person, being bound.
Right. All right. Now you had said last
Some
time.
of them also fought its way in your more modern mythology, as you're calling this, or your fantasy literature. Some of this has been processed in there because some of those rituals have what you consider also shared material. If they aren't fully aware of their nomadic writing, as when Mirsprings for Lasso, for example, but some of them have.
I got you.
Your so-called fantasy authors, among them quite some popular ones. Obviously also some inspiration from mythology, but not entirely.
Right. You had said that about Atlanta, the reason it was built in concentric rings of land and water is because that's how the land in the area existed and it was terraformed. Canada has two somewhat similar regions which were created by separate asteroid impacts. Was it also an asteroid impact that created the rings Atlanta was built on?
One asteroid impact definitely had such an effect, yes.
I mean, what I'm asking is, like, was it an asteroid that created the rings of the city Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay. Was there anything special about this asteroid? Like why did it hit right at the fault of two tectonic plates?
It was aimed there. It was guided along with the intention to cause some more upheaval at a particular point in time, which could be prevented You're aware, again, we're talking about longer periods of time here where there was various conflicts between different factions of visitors, yes? There was not every single turn peace and then suddenly there was conflict and Atlantis sank, right?
Right. So how long before the sinking of Atlantis did this asteroid hit?
For what we're aware of, at least 100,000 years earlier, much longer rather, likely up to 1,000,000 years.
Okay.
Approximately. There were numerous impacts, and the one you're referring to, we believe was somewhere in that general time frame, likely 500,000 years.
I got you. Now, about the central island, or the Acropolis, as you called it, Plato says that it was 5 stadia in diameter, which is a little bit less than 1 kilometer. Does this seem accurate to you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, also, like the way Plato describes it is that it contained a temple to Poseidon, another one to his lover Cleito. Well, one to Cleito and himself, another one specifically to Poseidon, with statues of his sons, some gold statues surrounding it, a royal palace, a large altar, and bathhouses with water from hot springs. Does this sound correct?
Yes, somewhat accurate, however, also much more high-tech than what might have been recorded in certain scriptures that Plato was aware of or not.
Were there any pyramids or obelisks in the Acropolis?
Yes, certainly.
The Acropolis itself, or just the land rings?
The land rings certainly, but also the Acropolis had one large pyramid.
Can you say like what the purpose was of this pyramid? Was it like a powerhouse?
Yes, it funneled in energies from certain star systems, yes, and saved it there. As you're aware, all pyramids on your planet are sort of powerhouse before they were abused or used, whatever, as mausoleum or tombs.
Right. Were there obelisks in the Acropolis?
Around the center, yes, grouped around.
What do you mean, like on the center island itself?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know roughly how many kilometers from the sea the outer water ring of Atlanta was located?
Could you repeat what you regard?
Like how many kilometers? You know, like Atlanta had 3 water rings. Like how far was the outer ring to the sea?
Approximately 35 kilometers, what we were aware.
Okay. And was there really a canal leading all the way between Atlanta and the sea?
Artificially created.
Okay. So can you see that?
They also had what you would consider aqueducts now, but more advanced than the Romans had.
Right, right. So about that map of the area around the Azores Islands that I sent to David, can you see that?
Yes. And yes, the blue spot at the top is likely where the center would have been.
Okay.
However, there are also offshoots, what you would consider perhaps suburbs that were further located to the south.
I got you. Now, do you know how much of the Acropolis still exists today? I mean, you said it was nuked. Like, is there anything that still survives?
There are some ruins that fell to the floor of the sea and could still be recognized at least as something artificially created, even if not a part of a temple.
Do you know if any of the land rings and their walls are still intact enough so that if somebody were to map this area with sonar, they would be able to detect the rings?
They would likely find something. Yes, if they would use the advanced technology, they could even travel there and retrieve such, and likely some already have.
Okay. So about the area you pinpointed, so that's like 40 and a half north, 29 and a half west. like, in what direction did the canal go toward the sea? Was it like, did it go towards the northwest or the northeast?
Yes, northwest for you were the main canal.
Okay,
There were
cool.
smaller ones, thinner ones, yes, but they are more for what you would sort of consider a canoe, or at least it might look like such for you, or simply for exchange, yes, to we're not quite aware of the vessel's own capabilities to use express words in your English language, but formed the idea to balance out water and land.
Right. Can you describe like the actual sinking of Atlantis itself? I mean, was it kind of just like a big tidal wave washed over the island, or did it take like hours to slowly, piece by piece, sink into the sea, kind of like the Titanic?
Both to some degree. There were bigger waves, but some of the aspects survived the big waves, smaller islands, some as you're aware are still there today.
Right, right. Um, well, well, cool. It's awesome that we now know exactly where the city of Atlanta was located. Yeah, if anybody listening to this wants to go and see if you can find any ruins, you're welcome to do it. And just remember to give KALASK credit. KALASK and MeTax. We'll give MeTax credit too.
Appropriate enough, yes.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, that's all the questions.
Also, whenever you're doing such, feel free to call our team if you need direct guidance while you're at it.
Right, right.